welcome to Mind Your Business, a channel where we are in everybody's business. If you don't mind getting in people's business, you're on the right channel. Talking about current topics and gossip. Now, Marsau telling Tisha that she's gaslighting him is absolutely hilarious. The champion chief gaslighter in charge is telling his wife that she's gaslighting him. This is absolutely hilarious. And the Scott brothers they're just on one. They really are on one. Well, go on, people, Man Creative Crew, let's talk about Love and Marriage Huntsville. So, of course, we pick up with the couples away for the Houston trip. So I say well done to the Fletchers for getting that together and getting them all together, because it was good to see them all together like this. Because, we haven't seen them come together like that for so long, because everyone's got different beefs in different camps. But anyway, so Courtney and Stormi arrive, but they've come late because they've missed their flight, and they've got their little cute son with them because the sitters also missed her changing flight or something like that. So anyway, they arrive when everyone's about to have dinner, and we're sitting around having a conversation as they do. And of course, you've got Marsau surprised that Chris fixed his wife Nell a plate, and looking like it's a shock. It's shocking to him, because obviously we know that Marsau probably don't do nothing for her unless she's sick or literally on her last leg. But anyway, he then makes a point to reference about how, he thought he was the worst brother. And then, you've got Maurice and what he said in the Carlos King interview and all that kind of stuff starts coming up. Which, again, as I said last week, I think, Maurice is bang out of order for all of that. I thought it was interesting seeing Kimmy try to come to his defence and say, people, some people say things, it comes out wrong, and, just that he took too long to figure it out. I feel like Kimmy's just trying to defend him. But she needs to let him sit in his spot and get grilled, because his attitude was absolutely disgraceful. He admits that, yes, he put her in a bad position and that he would like to, if he could, he'd press delete. But really, you said what was on your mind, okay? And that's the way I look at it. You said what came out of your mouth. And, you definitely shouldn't have been saying that in the first place. And to me, it's not like it's come out of left field, because watching the show and over the season, all you've gone on about is sex. So clearly, it's your truth. If Kimmy wants to see it or not, it is your truth. That is what you're showing yourself to be. Just caring about that and not really caring about her feelings. We can see it throughout the show, as far as I'm concerned, anyway. But anyway, later on, we've got Nell, noticing that Martell has a wedding band on. Now, why has Martell got this on? Because I just feel like he's just such a nuisance. He knows that Mel's going to be there. And why do you have a wedding band on? That is the question. He's trying to come up with some rubbish, and then Marcel interjects and says, oh, you know what? Yeah, let's not go and talk about Mel or Martell, and, kind of quashes that, which I was kind of glad for Mel, because I was thinking poor Mel's going to have to be, having to defend herself again and chat about, she don't want nothing to do with him. So that kind of got kind of chilled out. Stormi and Courtney say that they've got to leave because, their babysitter's coming to town. They've got to go airport, pick her up. There were some jokes around the table about, Marcel looking after the baby. And, of course, Courtney said, well, I ain't leaving my child with Marcel. He don't even look after his own kids. Which just cracked me up. But yeah, because babies are mentioned now, Marcel is putting, 10 and 56 together and getting 100 and coming to the idea that, it must be because Tisha's gone around telling everybody about his pregnancy test. Now, him being the arsehole that he is, Marcel was like, oh, why is everyone talking about baby? Tisha, have you told everybody about our conversation? So just throw your wife under the bus, why don't you? And then Tisha's like, well, no, what are you talking about? Well, the conversation we just had, and obviously it's talking about the pregnancy. So now, everyone's laughing at Tisha because, Tisha's saying that she took a pregnancy test because she was feeling very sick. Everyone's laughing because they know that, he's had a vasectomy. You've got Kimmy opening her mouth saying, oh, well, basically backing Marsau. I just thought, Kimmy, just be quiet. Just be quiet and maybe back Tisha on this instead of trying to back Marsau with his science talk. I'm glad that Melody actually did defend Tisha in that and was saying, well, when he's implying about the trust situation, she basically says, well, look, Tisha's basically sat down and ate all your crap that you fed her, be it the broad back picture of that someone had of someone sitting in the bed with their back out looking like him, or all the other many rumours that have come his way, or the time when she asked him about these women that he's meant to have slept with and he tells her he can't answer that question. All these things she has gone along and blindly believed. But now that she's saying that she could have been pregnant, his first response is it must be that she's cheating because clearly, he's had a vasectomy. Honestly, yeah, my view of this is allegedly. I feel like it's because Marsau has been out here doing his thing, yeah, dipping it low, spreading it wide, doing his thing, right? And in the peace of mind, knowing that he's got a vasectomy, so he can do what he's doing and he knows he ain't going to leave no trail of children behind to catch him out. So because he's been getting on with himself and having a fun time, maybe he's trying to think, well, actually, I'm trying to cheat in peace. I've got a vasectomy. It's all good. Then my wife's popping out chatting about, oh, yeah, I could be pregnant. And he's thinking, absolutely not. I've slept with all these women. None of them are pregnant. If that's the case, that throws my whole shit out the window. I can't go on and keep on having any slip-ups then, can I? Allegedly, okay? That is my view of it. Okay, I feel like he's projecting all this whole thing about, yeah, she could be cheating and wives cheat and all this crap when she's the one who sat down for years listening to all these rumours about you. I'm glad that she's actually seems to be kind of waking up because she wasn't happy about his attitude. So yeah, I think that's ridiculous. I just think it's crazy. Even though, yes, you know, you're saying you had a vasectomy. Like I said, you know, it is a rare for you to get pregnant. I think it's like 1 in 2,000 or something like that. But either way, your wife could be that 1%, like Kimmy said, could be that 1%. Yeah, well, I feel like that's where his venom and his upset is coming from. The fact that he wants to cheat in peace and he doesn't want the thought of anybody, you know, all these women that he might have had these issues with or had flings with. He doesn't want no one popping up pregnant. Okay, or maybe no one has popped up pregnant, so he's like, well, I've been with her, she ain't popped up pregnant, so how is it my wife is popping up pregnant? So must be some other pain in the place. I feel like it's projection. Honestly, I think it's all a bit of bullshit, because think about it, if Tisha was cheating on him, would she really come to him and say, I think I could be pregnant? I think she'd want to find out if she was pregnant first and, you know, do her due diligence before coming to do that, knowing what her husband's like. So I just think it's just a bit of a bullshit storyline. Also, I get, you know, if you had a vasectomy, then you don't want to, the whole point is you don't want to have more kids, and so you're doing that for that reason. And I get that. But while science is science, there's still chances that surgeries don't work, and it does happen. So I just feel like it's just a whole lot of, you know, hot air for no reason. Also just screams insecurities. Like I said, I feel like Marsau's insecurities are showings, and as well as him projecting. And because he knows how he's been behaving out here in these streets. That's what I feel like, anyway, allegedly. And then you've got someone like Martell, who, of course, will co-sign the bullshit because he is a serial cheater. And, of course, he's going to be like, oh, yeah, women cheat, and all this kind of crap. So I weren't really here for that conversation. I just felt like it's all very immature. Like, he should trust his wife. Like, it's as simple as that. I just think it's a bit of bullshit, honestly. It's a bit of a storyline. But if it's not a storyline and this is what, you know... This is Marsau being Marsau, he's an arsehole, so it wouldn't be so surprising. Whether it's a storyline or not, I still feel like this attitude will stay. All this thing about he believes modern science, I'm just like, yeah, okay, whatever. But like I said, Tisha has blindly trusted him throughout all this, but it's actually his turn to trust. But yeah, no. I do love that Mel did remind him about the foolishness that he's put Tisha through anyway, and the rumours. Now, what I thought was interesting was when the girls went off to go and have their own little hot tub pool moment, you know, little girls chat. And Mel was sharing that she's never had an orgasm while chatting to the ladies. I was like, oh, my word. 4 children, no orgasm. What is going on over there? That is really a hot mess. So obviously she's getting them now, which is why she's making that point. But it did crack me up anyway. And Kimmy was talking about feeling unprotected by Maurice and the way that he kind of dealt with that and feeling like she was blindsided by his interview. But I don't understand why she's blindsided, because to me, all he does is pressure her for sex. And to me, based on the way he behaves, I'm not surprised. Like I said, I feel like her body, her mind is subconsciously letting her know that we're just not feeling this guy because he ain't moving right. If it was moving right, maybe she would get better and be like, yeah, I can deal with this. But there's more to it. The subconscious is kicking in with that, I think, anyway. But anyway, she was sharing that she felt unprotected, and like there's a certain point in the interview where it sounded like he was protecting his baby mother, but it wasn't protecting her, you know, being the wife. So I thought that was interesting. And now Tisha also shared that, you know, she's more questioning of Marsau because of the fact that she's never questioned him. She's always just blindly gone with him. And now that this has happened with her, like, you know, she's not pregnant, but this little so-called pregnancy scare is letting her see that, you know, this guy wouldn't care and he would be looking at you with a side eye and looking at you like you are sleeping with somebody else. Anyway, I thought it was interesting that this whole argument between Tisha and Marsau kept going to the point where Tisha stays in another room, which I'm not surprised because, I mean, he is ridiculous. But for him to tell her that she's gaslighting him is hilarious to me. Absolutely hilarious, you know? And I really don't blame Tisha for actually, you know, speaking up and showing that she's hurt by what he said. You don't really see Tisha really get upset that much with Marsau, so I feel like she's trying to get her point. Maybe that was the tequila in her. What was she drinking? I was like, yes, Tisha, try and have him up a little bit. Because we all know That man is a master manipulator, and he will have you round his finger in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. But yeah, we'll see. Now, of course, Maurice making me laugh because he's creeping around the house at 2 o'clock in the morning and sees Martel bring in his booty call to the yard. And I'm just like, Martel, honestly, you're away for a couple of days. You mean to tell me you couldn't have obviously taken this girl to maybe a hotel, or couldn't you just held up for a couple of days? I just feel like he done that on purpose because he knows Mel's in the house. Yes, they're separated. Like when Chris and Nell are speaking about it, and Chris tells Nell that, well, they're separated. Yes, they are separated. But I do feel like he didn't have to bring the girl in the yard. He could have went and got a hotel. Stop being cheap. Go to the hotel. Don't no one want to hear you there. Don't no one want to see you with your side shake. It's just like, it just screams that you have no self-control. And it's just really ridiculous. Of course, when Martel pops in to check in on Marsau, all that scene to me screamed was insecure and projection. That's what sprang to mind. Because like I said, for him, he's thinking he's had his snip, he can cheat in police, allegedly. And he don't want to hear none of this nonsense. That's what I think it comes down to. And I feel like he's projecting because he's the one who's out here doing the dirt. Because why are you going straight to your wife is doing the dirt? Like, it is a lot. It is a lot. Why not go and be like, you know what, let me make sure that this test is actually, this snip has actually worked. Let me go and test myself and then come back with that kind of conversation. But anyway, I also think Tisha should have this conversation with him before she done the test. It's just all a hot mess. I think it's hilarious. And him telling Martel that, he's basically not happy about, what's happened. And Martel asking, do you check her DMs? And, well, she's got her body done and she's looking all good and wearing skimpy outfits. So he needs to keep her in the house. Like, what the hell? What is wrong with these men? They're just giving very archaic, very foolish Edith vibes. I just thought, just shut up, all of you. The both of you, shut up and remote, because they just chat too much rubbish. It's really annoying, and it's just giving projection. That's all it gave. That whole conversation to me just gave projection and insecurities. Now, Kimmy and Tisha, I still feel like Kimmy could have had Tisha's back a little bit more around the table. I feel like she likes to be a peacemaker or be in the middle, but on this one, just stick with Tisha because I feel like Marsau is a gaslighter and he's full of crap. But I feel like she's right in the sense that men cannot handle the idea of women cheating, which is what you saw with the reaction. But at the same time, I feel like it was more of a reaction from the guys who were the cheats. To me, Martel was the one who was getting a bit like, has something to say. And Marsau, and those are the ones that have been rumoured to have cheated. Well, we know Martel has, but Marsau, rumours, alleged. Now, Nell and Chris, when they were setting up the team building game, obviously they spoke about, Martel bringing in this extra woman to the yard, and Nell was not happy about that at all. But then Nell has invited Kiki to the yard, and Chris is vexed about that too. So I get it, because obviously they're having a good time at the moment, and we know that it's going to throw off Tisha and Marsau because she's, Kiki is not on good terms with them. I thought it was interesting, Kiki calling to be invited. You wouldn't catch me calling to be invited. No, ma'am, Pam, that is not happening. You need to invite me. It's simple as that. And I feel like she should come with her husband. I don't like she's coming on her own. It's a couple's trip, so you should come with your husband and come with some keeping it to yourselves and not coming to ruin the trip. Hopefully not. Because I do like Kiki, but I don't want it to be about, you two arguing all the time. That should not be the storyline. Like, you've got your own stuff going on. So, yeah, I don't know. But I do feel like Chris and Nell are a cute couple. I do feel like Nell is fiery because, like, when Chris is letting her know he don't agree with Kiki coming in, that why can't she deal with her issues back in Alabama when they come back? Nell was like, she's soft, she's the soft kind of one. But I feel like Nell's also being mixed up because she knows that it's going to kind of stir things up. Maybe she found it hard to say no, but I don't feel like that's the case. I feel like, she's adding a little spice to it. But I can understand Chris not wanting to go through with it and pushing back on her. But it did feel like when she was like, you should support me. It was like, well, hold on. Just because he might not agree with you doesn't mean he has to support you. But he might not agree with you. So he might not support your decision that you made because you're the one who took it on you to invite her. But anyway, we shall see what happens next week. I think it'll be interesting to see what happens next week because, Kiki is an interesting character and we'll spice it up. But I think overall the show was all right. I like the idea of them being away. Didn't get to see much of Stormi and Courtney and their interaction because obviously they were there very limited time. But I do feel like this whole foolishness between Marsau and Tisha, it's giving a storyline, but it's also giving that Marsau enjoys gaslighting his woman. That's what I feel of it. Because I feel like Tisha is so doting on him and will believe him blindly about anything. How are you going off to Colombia? Or wherever it is you've gone to go and have some bachelor? What the hell is going on? Anyway, what do you guys think? Let me know your thoughts below. Yes, so thanks for watching that. Don't forget to subscribe, like, comment, share, and hit that notification bell so you know when I am uploading some more of people's business. So until then, my nosy people, stay blessed.